First off, I want to show you rulers. Now here, if it's not already on, you will need to go to view. Yes, view. Then rulers, and obviously that's them turned off. When it's showing the tick, they're turned on. Now the rulers, they will snap to the edge of images or to the edge of your canvas. You can bring them down, obviously line them up where you want to. You can get really accurate. You've got here your measurements. You can come in from the side as well. All I do to get the ruler is I click and then I drag. Okay, they are really useful. You never know when you're going to need them, especially when you're lining up stuff. So that is the first thing I want to show you. The next thing I'm going to show you is the filters. Now these are really great. You can go to these kind of like preset ones. So like for example, blur. Let's click motion blur for this picture. And you can see it looks a little bit blurred. And the more we change it down here, more blurred it looks. Okay, so there's little settings here. Again, play with these. These would be great just to play with, see what they can do. Pixelate is one I really like, especially for like color halftone. So it's like the old comic books. So let's say I change that to 8. Yeah, let's just go 8 all around. Oh no, that one's got to be 360. That's weird. What about this one? Is that allowed to be 8? That's good. Okay. And then see, zoom out, it looks like the normal picture. Zoom in, you can see all the dots that make it up, just like the old comic books. You can also, on the filters, go onto the filter gallery. And again, there's loads of filters here that don't show up when you just press on that top bar. And you can really adjust these. One of my favorites is palette knife. Now this, you've got 3 areas you can adjust. So the stroke size, you can make that quite large. Stroke detail, let's say we reduce that a bit, and let's go for the softness up a little bit. And again, we leave this to render. It'll take a few seconds. You can kind of see it's starting to look like it's been painted with a palette knife now. Please play with these, see what they can do, have fun with them. You know, the cutout's pretty cool as well. Next, I am going to show you on the image bar. Okay, there are more settings to play with than the ones you saw when you did your desaturating your image. These are good to look at. So you've got things like invert on here, which changes it to its opposite color on the color wheel. You've got threshold. This is great for making stencils. All you do is click threshold and you can adjust this to let in the amount of dark and light. I normally use this with the palette knife tool to give softer edges. And let's go for the color balance. So on my image, I might want to make the cyans look a little bit more red. The magentas look a bit more green. And let's say the blues look a little bit more yellow, or vice versa. Okay, you can change the highlights and the shadows as well as the midtones on that. Final little thing I want to show you guys, apart from, no, I don't need that. So these are your swatches, obviously, if you want to get some colors. You've then got your layers. Now you need to do a new layer if you're going to draw on it or anything like that. You also need to check which layer you are clicked on. If I'm clicking on this layer, but I want to move this image, I'm only going to move the image that I'm clicked on. Okay, so I need to change it. If I want to move the back image, there we go. Okay, so that is pretty easy to do. Again, this one's a smart object. This is rasterized. You can tell by that little icon in the corner there. You can then change like the opacity of your images. So this one on top again, I'll adjust the opacity and it's gone a little bit more see-through, a bit translucent. You can also play with this here, so you can darken the top image, you can multiply it, which kind of puts the two images together. Again, have a look at these. Okay, these are really useful for when you do double exposure, and it's worth knowing what they do, or at least get some sort of an idea of what they can do. Hope this has been useful. See you later.